Welcome back, guys. Leg day. Just under 6 weeks out now. So as you can tell, condition is definitely coming in now. I am ahead of where I was last year. And I was pretty early getting ready last year. So I am pleased with where I'm at. But as always, nowhere near content, nowhere near satisfied. As I am definitely of a belief that no matter what you do, you can always do better, and you should always work towards being better and making sure that you are progressing. Because no matter what you do, there is always a way to progress. You can find it in small little details, in your day-to-day execution, in your training, in your nutrition, in your sleep modalities, in your recovery. It's endless, the opportunity that you can explore to simply be better today and progress for tomorrow. Right, down more focus. Anyway, guys, today's session, hip thrust as exercise number one working set, 3 sets of single leg hamstring curl, 2 working sets of leg extension, 2 working sets of calf press, 2 hack, and then we will likely do 1 set of hyper extensions to finish off on. So this session is actually 1 extra working sets with the addition of glute drive to begin with, as opposed to my other leg day. But the volume is still very manageable. It's still relatively easy, especially in comparison to the amount of volume that I was doing last year. This is still much less. And I will be honest, I am so much bigger, so much stronger in comparison. So guys, remember, not all volume is created equal. The more accurate you are with your training, the harder you train, the less volume you'll likely require within your training setup. Combine that with higher frequency training and your volume will likely need to come down in order for you to either retain your lifts or progress them. And that's ultimately what it's all about. Performance retention in a contest prep or progression in off season. That's all you have to obsess over in order to either hold your muscle or grow new muscle. Okay, last warm set, guys, then it's game time. Yep. Exercise number 2. We've got 3 sets of single leg hamstring curl. The first 2 working sets I'm actually going to do on seated hamstring curl. The final set will be on the lying hamstring curl. I have always been more of a fan of seated hamstring curl. However, doing a lying hamstring curl does have its merit. So I am going to do both. However, if you was to pick one or the other, I would always stick to a seated, as in my opinion, it's just far more superior for training your hamstring. Now, why am I training my hamstrings unilaterally, you may ask? For me, it's much easier to set up the exercise correctly using one leg at a time. If I try to get in a position with both of my legs together bilaterally, I can never ever get my position to a spot where I can get the range of motion that I know I can get unilaterally, or even the same setup. And if the setup isn't great or not as good as it could be, exercise execution is not going to be on point. My goal is to execute these lifts to the highest quality. So if it means having to go unilateral because of my structure, then I will do so. When my legs are smaller and I could get my adductors in, it was easier. But now my legs are not like toothpicks. Unilateral work for hamstring curls is definitely the one for me. Some people use a logbook just for numbers. I use a logbook as an accountability tool. Your logbook will expose all of your mistakes with your lifestyle, with your training volume, with your execution, and almost anything and everything that you do within your process will be highlighted in your logbook. Your progression dictates everything. If progression doesn't happen, it will always be down to something that you are potentially doing to sabotage your progress. And it could be small little things: hydration, sodium intake, training volume, not taking adequate rest between sets. Bodybuilding on paper is simple. In reality, it's a science. And you have to pay attention to detail if you want to truly reach your potential. The more advanced you get, the harder it is. The more advanced you get, the more dialed in you have to get. At the start, it's easy, and then it's not easy. And that's what truly separates the people that actually use their effort to think, and those that dismiss the process that requires some intent and smart application. Don't be that guy. Don't leave progress on the table.
Yes. All right.
Yep. So this working set is with a little bit more focus on the contraction, and that's just one way to not reduce load exposure, but manage the different stimulus that I get out of doing this with heavier focus on the stretch in my other session. Training your muscle in the stretch is a lot more damaging. So sometimes, if you have the ability to adjust resistance profile, it makes sense to do so in subsequent sessions. So, first session, legs A, I will do all 3 working sets with heavy focus on the stretch on this exercise. This session, I start my working set with setting 1, which is an even resistance profile, with more of a focus on contraction, which is going to be less damaging, allowing me to have recoverability to train my legs every 4 days and be able to take a progression even now at 6 weeks out. This is more nuanced stuff for guys that are a lot more advanced. And this is just another way to see and find ability to progress, which is something I mentioned earlier. You can always find a way to progress. You just have to use a little bit of this.
Easy reps, come on. Beautiful reps, come on. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Mine. Yep. Okay. Hey. 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 Yep. Hey. Baba. Yep. Hey. What is up, guys? Welcome back. If you are looking for coaching or consultations, please visit Team MK Coaching, link in the description below, and see what we can do for you guys. $50, 25, 75. Exercise number 3. Massive thank you to our friends at Hustler for providing the Hustler pad, which is an excellent addition to the leg extension. Now, the extra range of motion on this is actually epic with the addition of that. 2 working sets here, guys, with the primary leg extension loading mostly mid-top. So my goal here will be the same weight for same reps, just adjusting the resistance profile. So you have to pay attention and see what we do with the loading. Perfect. Let's get it. Press play on that, yeah?
That's up.
As you can see, 2 working sets of leg extension now, and that was same weight with a rep match. The only adjustment was I loaded first set with the distribution of 30%-ish middle, 70% top, and then the second set I took a little bit of weight off the middle and placed it all on top. So the distribution was more like 15 middle, 85 top, making it heavier in the stretch without drop off in the shortened range. This gives me the ability to use the same weight and match the reps for both sets. That's the beauty of having these pieces that do have that adjustable resistance profile. It really does make a big difference with the ability to not just progress lifts, but match the resistance profile with a strength curve of the actual muscle, which can be beneficial. It's not the be all and end all, but it can be beneficial at the level at which I am at right now. Calf press, guys. 2 working sets, 1 warm-up set, and then straight into big working sets. The goal and the focus here is very, very heavy stretch focus. So one thing you'll notice here is I will actually actively count my repetitions in the stretch. So here I'm going to aim for a 3 count in the stretch and then explode hard into concentric. And specifically when it comes to the range of motion, my goal here is to complete pretty much 70% of the rep and stay predominantly working in the stretch. Big up Fabian. That is a suggestion from my friend Fabi, who has definitely had some input into some of the changes and tweaks that I've made recently. So thank you, my man, appreciate it. This is the next level of hurt and pain, especially for calves. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results with these small additions and tweaks, which, in my opinion, do go a long way. So first working set, I'm going to aim for around 8 to 10. Second set, it's probably going to be the same weight for probably around 6 reps, and that is the set that I'll actually do a my rep match set. So probably do 6 reps, take a breather, go again, match the reps of the first working set with the same weight. For calf work, I think it's very beneficial. Not so much for other bigger body parts. I don't think the trade-off is worth it. Now, as always, guys, 30 grams of performance fuel, 10 grams of creatine, and it always gets completed before my second to last exercise, which is a hack squat, which is next. Fuck me. Right, this set, don't come up all the way. 3 count in the stretch every rep. My rep match set. What has come for me, guys? Oh, hard body. Beautiful. Extra large knee sleeves. I already got some of the adjustable cuffs. We've got them in purple and red. So today, I will more than likely try the red ones before my big, heavy working sets. Especially now, my knees have to stay fresh. And I am getting pretty dry, so these are ideal for my big, heavy squat patterns. So in a moment, after my last working set, I'm going to get changed and put these on underneath my trackies. Extra knee warmth and support for the big stuff. Big up hard body if you want yours. Called Kuba, and you might actually get a beautiful box like this. Now, if you haven't seen adjustable cuffs, they are tremendous. Definitely my favourite piece of accessory. And the second favourite will be a good quality sleeve. So, get involved, guys. Called Kuba, hard body. Let's get it. Side X. Side X. If you're going to do side X, put them on. Just to take that edge off that stretch. If we don't put them on, we'd have to reverse band it. Otherwise, over time, that knee's just going to give up. Penultimate exercise. That's the word for it, penultimate, isn't it? Yeah. Penultimate exercise, look at that. We're using fancy words there. The side X hack squat. This piece is unforgiving. If you know, you know. Now, this machine has a special place in my heart because if there's any exercise that really has to get me to switch on, it's definitely this one. It's unforgiving, it's heavy, it's hard. It's everything I fucking love about this game. Game time. Working now,
In the mix, on Drum Cut Live, with Adam Bayer.
Quarter reps. Focus.
Oh. Oish.
Focus. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice.
Not fucking worth it. Exercise was going to be the hyperextension, but I'm likely going to incorporate it next session. Main reason being, it's going to take some time setting it up properly. So I'm actually going to have a play around with it before I actually do my actual session, just not to waste time and energy. As you can imagine now at this point, I have to stay focused and switched on the entire session. So sometimes it's about efficiency and conserving your energy to be able to put productive work in for the sets that matter. So today, it would not be the right call for me to set up a new exercise, mess around with a setup, which could totally take me like 15 minutes to get right. Yeah, today's not the day. So we're gonna nail it. The final set on the single leg hamstring curl. This Body Masters baby is tremendous. So, one of the best leg curls ever made. So I'm happy I'm actually managed to source it. Oh, okay. That is the session wrapped up, guys. Very, very good session, all things considering. My legs felt a little bit tired today, but this is where taking an extra rest when it's needed really pays off. A lot of people speed up a lot of people shorten the rest periods in a contest prep. And in my opinion, that is one way to get smaller. If you shorten your rest periods, you are not giving yourself adequate time to rest and recover between sets. Your priority is to be able to perform your sets with all-out effort and maximum intensity. In order for you to be able to do that, you need to make sure that you take adequate rest in between sets. If you rush going into your sets, you are not going to be able to perform at your max capacity. If you cannot perform at your max capacity, you will not be able to generate enough force for the muscle that you have built to hang around. That is as simple as that, guys. Your muscle needs a reason to stay. If you are going to the sets not quite ready, not focused, and still fatigued, yes, you might get a little bit more of a pump, but that's not what builds muscle. It's not what holds muscle. In fact, chasing a pump in a calorie deficit is the very last thing you want to do, because a pump is largely dictated by your fuel intake, which is your food. When you are in a calorie deficit, guess what? The food is not of abundance. When the food is not of abundance and you are not loaded with glycogen, the pumps are not going to be as good as they was before. You have to accept that, and you have to focus on mechanical tension above all. Guys, on that note, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have taken something away from today's session. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you again soon. 5.5 weeks out, baby. It's coming. Let's get it.